Alright, we are going to next go from our standard form that we talked about to our y-intercept because we need to change it to this, and then we're going to graph them. So this section I don't think should take too long, but it's going to be a nice refresher on how to change this to this form and then to graph it. So we'll go through this pretty rapidly here. So if you would like for this one just to change it to the right form and then graph it and then check after each one instead of listening, because we're really not doing anything new because technically you're just graphing when you change it, but I want more practice for both. So you can use this how you want to, but in the end I want to see your examples to make sure what you're doing here. Alright, so for this one we got to get y by itself, so I'm going to go through this pretty fast here. So we do minus 3x. We can do the minus 3x over here. So now I've got 4y equals negative 12 minus 3x. Next step, I would divide that by 4. And then I wanted to flip those around. I should have flipped those around to start with. Let's do that. Negative 3x minus 12. So I divided by negative 4, or by positive 4, excuse me. So I'll divide those all by 4. So now I have y equals negative 3/4 x, and then negative 12 divided by 4 is going to be minus 3 or negative 3. So now I've got my form that I need. Now I need to take it to a graph. So if I take it to a graph here, here's my starting point. That's the y-intercept. And then I just need to follow a pattern of a negative, which the graph needs to look like this if it's negative, bottom right to top left, and then all I need to do is follow that pattern. So I need to go 1, 2, 3 up, and then to make the line look like this, I'm going to have to go 4 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 up, 1, 2, 3, over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you could do the pattern the other way, down 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your line. Just for the sake of moving through this faster, I'll make the lines because that's what kind of makes more sense here. Anything that this line crosses, even if we don't have a dot on it, should work for this equation. Alright, let's take a look at this one. So we need to get it in this form right here, so I'll start off by doing minus 1x. Minus 1x. So now it's going to look like this. Now I need to divide this to get this off of this. So divide by negative 3, cancels out. We'll divide by negative 3, we'll divide by negative 3. So I'm left with y equals, that would be a positive because we've got two negatives, 1/3 x, negative 9 divided by negative 3 is just positive 3 plus 3. Here's my equation in the form we need it as. So if I come over here to the graph, I'm going to start at positive 3, and then I need my slope for my line to be positive, which is going to go that way because I don't have any negatives. So that's just going to be up 1 and then 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 3 to the right. I can go the opposite, down 1, 3 to the left. Down 1, 3 to the 1, 2 to the left. Okay. There is our dots right there. We will draw our line to connect. Anything that this crosses is an xy solution to this equation right here. Alright, next one. We will do minus 10x, because again we're trying to make it look like this. We've got to get the y by itself. Minus 10x. So I've got negative 1y equals, I'll put this first, negative 10x minus 10. Now it's starting to look like this. I just need to get rid of the negative 1. So we will divide by negative 1 to give me y equals, divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. So that would be 10x, and then we would have positive 10. That's what our standard form changed to our regular form that we need. Now if we come over here, again for our slope we needed to have it over 1 if there's just a whole number. And then I'm going to have my starting point of 10. and then it's positive, there's no negative, so my line needs to look like this. And I'm going to go up 10, which obviously I can't do here. Up 10, right 1. Up 10, right 1, so I'll just do the opposite. I'll go down 10, right 1, or left 1, excuse me, because we want to keep the pattern so it looks like this. If I go down 10, left 1, now we should be good to go. And again, if I had more graph, I could have went up 10 and right 1, but it really doesn't matter whether you start going up or down as long as the line looks like this because it's a positive slope. Okay, take this one. Again, we want to look at like this. This one's actually going to be pretty easy because y is not connected to anything. So it's just going to be minus 5x. Minus 5x. Let's rewrite it down here. Y equals, I'll put the slope first. Slope is negative. Minus 5x. Take away 10. Done. That should be it right there because we don't have anything in front of the y. It's exactly how we need it here. So let's transfer it over to a graph. Starting at negative 10. We need to put the 1 underneath it if we're going to actually do the slope here. And then it's a negative, so the graph needs to look like this. So we will go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to have to go left 1, so the line looks like that. Then we'll go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left 1. There we go. Alright, last one before we do a few on our own here. And again, like I said, I'm trying to move through this fast because this is what you did before. You changed the form, and then you've already graphed these, so now it's just kind of putting the two together. So this one is a pretty easy one because y is already on the side by itself. We just actually have to get rid of this divide by 2, or the times by 2. So if we divide by 2, cancels it out. So now I'm just left with y equals. So I just have to come down here and divide by 2 and divide by 2. So that's going to be, we're just going to keep it like that since it's a slope. Negative 3 over 2 x plus 18 divided by 2 is 9. We'll come over here. Graphing positive 9 is our starting point. And then we're going to have negative, so it needs to look like this. So up 3, 1, 2, 3. That would work out for us right there. Oop, that's my bad because I need to go over 2 and not 1. So let's go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to make it negative, we're going to have to go this way, 2. And then I just have to follow the pattern in the opposite direction, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And if we got those 3 lines, that's probably even all we need here. We'll go down through this, and there's our line right there. Okay, good. All right. These two, I'm going to ask you to do completely on your own here, and that would involve changing them to standard form and graphing them, doing both here. Okay, so I'm hoping you get the standard form part changed correctly, because if you don't, then your graph's not going to be right, but we'll just kind of see how it goes here. So your goal right now is to change both of these to this form and then follow it up by graphing this form without using the t-chart, just doing it the way that we've been doing it, where you start with the y-intercept and then you use the slope to figure out where the line needs to go to. So why don't you pause this, see how you do, and come back and check it.